I've been in the right place, but it must have been the wrong time. I done said the right thing, but it must have used the wrong line. I've been on the right trail, but I must have used the wrong car. Headed in a bad place, and I wonder what's good for. I've been in the right place.
Good afternoon, I'm Stu Mahovlich, and we're in downtown Bridgeport to take a look at what's going on a Saturday afternoon. Let's take a look at one of the places that folks love to hang out at. It's called
Take Time Cafe.
the Take Time Cafe. Let's take a look. Let's go in. Pigeons. Pigeons in the United States of America. They're problems, and people are getting tired of them. Let's take a look at these in Bridgeport, Connecticut on a Saturday afternoon. Some of them are getting up to no good again. We'll show you why and how and what's happening with pigeons in America when Pigeons in America returns. Hey, I'm Tommy McClevey, and we're at McClevey Hall this afternoon on a Saturday afternoon in downtown Bridgeport. There's always a good time happening right here at McClevey Hall. If you're looking for something fun to do, don't go any farther than McClevey Hall. Come on, let's see what the gang's doing inside. Come on, there's always a piano player and lots of good stuff. We're back and live again with Pigeons in America. The last time we talked about pigeons in America, pigeons were flying around and pooping a lot. Today we'll look at some pigeons that not only fly around, but poop a lot. We have with us Professor John L. Stearns of Indiana University, who talks a little bit about pigeons in America. Well, of course, I remember the first time I saw a pigeon. They were flying around. I brought my team in and we photographed it in Bridgeport, Connecticut in the late summer, early autumn of 1968. Let's watch them for a while, shall we? Our crack team tried to find a pigeon to interview in Bridgeport. Why did we pick Bridgeport? We picked Bridgeport because it's known as the Park City. We immediately entered a park where we thought we might find some pigeons. But then it was time to find the pigeon that would stay still enough for us to interview him. I think there's one there, John. There we go. The front. Our team decided to stay low, very low to the ground, as if to not disturb the pigeons. Here they come now. I think it was in late March of '74 when I first experienced the pigeon phenomenon. It was then that I began to tag pigeons. We learned that they're very much smarter than we had first thought. That one, right there, is known as Pidgey. Get him! Go for him! Where is he? Another phenomenon in America, pigeons disturbing traffic as seen in this disturbing video. Downtown Bridgeport, a Saturday afternoon, a car trying to avert pigeons. Good afternoon, I'm Chip Mahovlich. We're in the streets of Bridgeport, Connecticut, and today we're going to talk a little bit about a downtown art gallery. Before we go into the art gallery, we're just going to take a look around at some of the bustling activity. Did I say bustling? Bustling activity in the downtown Bridgeport area. Bridgeport is a beacon for activity this Saturday afternoon, with lots of people bustling and hustling, leaving their shopping in the entire happiness and anticipation of Black Friday. It's now Saturday, and people are flocking to a Bridgeport art gallery. Join us as we enter a bustling Saturday afternoon downtown Bridgeport Art Gallery. Good afternoon, I'm Chip Mahovlich, and we're in downtown Bridgeport on a busy Saturday afternoon. Saturday after Black Friday. And I'm with
Steve Gerber.
Steve Gerber. Steve, I understand that you're a part of the City Lights Art Gallery.
That's right, I'm the manager.
Can you tell me a little bit about the activity that's been going on down here today?
We're just putting the final touches in our mini masterpiece show. It's our holiday show of small works of art, all under $200, perfect for gift giving, and we've got about 26 different artists represented.
Good evening. I have with me here tonight
Bernie Gerber, Dr. Gerber.
Dr. Gerber.
That's right, like the baby food. Gerber, G-E-R-B-E-R.
Can you tell me a little bit about some of the art that will be on display?
We have everything from ceramics, sculpture, paintings, photography, drawing.
So your son is...
Steve Gerber.
Why don't we take a look at some of Steve's art? Let's go look. Good evening, I'm Geoff Mannheim, and tonight we're here with
Dr. Gerber, Steve's father.
Let's take a look at some of Steve's work. Steve Gerber. Do you feel some type of an electricity in the air down here today in Bridgeport at all? Or?
I'm not sure I feel it today. Some days
All right.
there's an electricity growing period a little bit.
Okay.
Saturday's probably not the best day to...
I don't know. I'm just looking for electricity.
Yes.
I'm Geoff Mannheim. Can you tell us a little bit about your son's work and when he first got started as a artiste?
Well, he went to school in New York, Brooklyn, and he just enjoyed art for some reason or other. My wife and I used to have an argument because we couldn't figure out who was responsible for his liking art.
Let me ask you something. Was there a passion in the belly, or was it more just that he enjoyed it?
Well, he went to Pratt Institute in Brooklyn, and that was what he liked. And it just came on. We couldn't figure out whose. Maybe my wife was artistic. I was really into sports.
In New York, the Big Apple, New York City. Oh, just an amazing season for the New York Knickerbockers. And they're having all types of problems. Oh, it's unbelievable, Marv. I can't believe it. It's so tragic. It's a tragedy. It's upsetting. It's so sad. It's unbelievable, baby. I'll tell you what, Isaiah Thomas, this guy was so on top of his game. You go back to the 80s, Detroit. What an organization and what a player Isaiah Thomas was. And now, unbelievable. That's my word, Marv. You can't say unbelievable. It's unbelievable, baby. Yes, that's exactly right, Fine Sal. And I'll tell you what, the Knicks, a team that used to be on top of everything, now down in the dumps. Stephon Marbury being fined and then leaving the team. After leaving the team, then he's back with the team, acting as if the Knicks are going to get back on track. But of course, the Knicks don't get back on track. They lose by 15, 20, 25 points, and they're in the cellar in the Atlantic East. Oh, it's just unbelievable, Marv. It's a tragedy.
Good afternoon. I'm Jake McManus, and we're in downtown Bridgeport. And again, we're focusing on art the day after Black Friday.
In today's ever-changing world of symphony orchestras, heavy metal leatherheads, and rapper gold-chained infested wizardry, isn't it nice to know there's a fresh new alternative out there on the horizon? Mike Falsigno. He's an up-and-coming brash artist heading to the East Coast.
Who am I speaking with this afternoon?
Hi, my name is Mike Falsigno. I work at City Lights part-time, and I do art the other time, so it's kind of a joint venture.
Nice. Can you tell me a little bit about your place, City Lights Gallery?
Sure. We try and be a place where people can stop down, whether you're in a suit or a pair of jeans and a t-shirt, it doesn't really matter, and just see what's going on visually in the area. We focus on a lot of local artists, but we also go outside of Bridgeport and into Greater Connecticut. Some people from New York come in and things like that. So
It was sunny in New York, sunnier than well, than sunny I remember, but then Sunny didn't have the blondest hair I'd ever seen. I was walking out of Frankie's with a cup of Joe, feeling like I was on top of the world. Well, that's when I ran into him. With his brute force, it was none other than Michael Falsigno in his American Classics Mayhem Compository. Falsigno is showing the American artist where he should be in 2007, more or less.
Can you give a plug for some of the artists that you're focusing on now?
Well, everyone's got relatives that they've known for maybe too long, and you can't find something to get them for the holiday season. We've got 24 artists, every different genre you can imagine, all priced under $200. So if you have a choice between a giant cucumber-scented candle or a gift card for your great Aunt Millie, you can come in and get her a piece of art instead.
I have an Aunt Millie.
You have an Aunt Millie?
That is amazing.
That's an amazing coincidence.
Tonight it's the American Art Gallery, and we visit some pretty colorful cities across the United States like Los Angeles, California, Las Vegas, Nevada, and our next stop, Bridgeport, Connecticut, where we check out the City Lights Art Gallery.
Hey, what's up? It's Bobby Gallo. Tonight we're down here with Annie Holly. Annie's from Colorado, and tonight she's gonna do a little art for us. Annie, would you come up with what you got here?
Basically from sleeping and dreaming.
So you're like in your sack, you're sleeping and you're dreaming, and what's coming to you? And what's coming on? What's going on? Tell us a little bit about what's going on over here.
You know when you fall asleep and you get that sensation of like swelling and shrinking, and then your head feels like this, and then your teeth feel like this, and like you kind of lose your whole bodily sense of who you are right before you fall asleep? That's what it's from.
So, Ann, can I call you Ann or Annie? What do you like? Ann, when you're sleeping over here, you got shrinking and swelling going on in this thing here. Tell me a little bit about what you got going on. What's this? I'm a little bit confused. Or, actually, I think I have some ideas as to what's going on over here.
Okay.
Can you tell the folks at home what's going on over here?
Well, this is kind of, all of these are an amalgamation of different projects. This here is from a project that was made of life cast nipples, and then I cast them into tiles, and when they're all put together, there's probably like 30 of them, and they make this pattern that's sort of like snow falling. It's supposed to be like a blizzard. And then the belly buttons, which are all of those, were a tile project that stretched across the wall, and they were supposed to look like notes, sort of, but they can all be reconfigured in different ways. Then these are fingers, and actually they came out of a project where I wasn't allowed to do anything that was nude, so I ended up doing these. The thing that was so funny was that these ended up seeming way more sexual and like kind of wrong than anything that could have been a nude anyway, so, you know.
Yeah, so how you doing? This is Bobby Gallo. Tonight we're at the City Lights Art Gallery in beautiful, majestic Bridgeport, Connecticut, overlooking beautiful Long Island Sound if you're on top of the building with a very strong telescope. And tonight I am with
Martha Williams.
Hi, Martha. Tonight I'm looking at this art here. What do you think?
I'm happy to be here. I think this is a great thing for Bridgeport to have a nice gallery with local artists.
I agree. Now, on this particular representation here, what do you think the artist is trying to say?
Eat more fruit?
I can see that. I also see some love going on here. This is kind of cuddly.
This happens to be my favorite fruit.
Well, I'm looking at some happiness. These two look very happy there.
Yeah, they're cozy. They're cozy.
Where are you from?
I live in Bridgeport. What do you think of that?
Nice. And how often have you come down here?
This is my first time.
It's a very nice representation.
Good afternoon, I'm Keith Hapson, and today we're here standing right where Abraham Lincoln stood many years ago. It was 1860. Abraham Lincoln visited this very building and stood right here when this building was a part of the building that he stood in. It was Washington Hall, which was then a portion of this building. This tablet is placed here in commemoration of that event by the city of Bridgeport, MXMXI. Abraham Lincoln and his fellas came down here. signed some paperwork, and drank some beer. And that's why Bridgeport was called the Park City, because they came down here and parked themselves right here at this spot. And that's what we're here to talk about today. I'm Flip Saunders, and that's why we're here to talk about this today.
Tonight on Easily Solved Mysteries, we look at a guy who never showed up for his first shift at his first day at his new job. No one got to know him, and he never got a chance to piss off a coworker, a customer, or an unsuspecting stranger. Tonight on 77 at 7, our team investigates a new phenomenon sweeping across the country. Tonight, it's In Search of the American Slacker.
We have a couple of questions for you if you have a minute. So did you ever see that guy that was supposed to show up for work?
No, I never did meet him.
You never did, huh? Did you ever find out his name? Do you know what they used to call him?
Well, maybe it was Frederick, maybe Effin' Fred, Frederick, F. Freddy, I don't know.
So you're telling me this guy never showed up?
No, mister, he never did.
Through our investigation here at 77 at 7, our undercover reporters have learned the identity of the man known as the American Slacker. He is known as Billy Chip Chadwick, better known as Chipper, down at one of the area's popular watering holes. Tonight, we visit Murphy's Law.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey,
Hey,
how's everything?
Good. We're looking for somebody. Maybe you've seen him in here.
I think I've seen this guy before, but I'm not really sure.
You're telling me you don't remember him?
I'm telling you, I don't know.
Or maybe this will bring back some memories to you.
Oh, yeah, this guy. I've seen this guy. He comes in he's been here once or twice. I think he's got the parrot on his shoulder.
So you're starting to remember, is that what you're saying?
I might remember a thing or two. Oh, well, see, now you're talking. See, the guy came in. He had a big parrot on his shoulder, bright yellow poncho, walks with a limp. He had a Chinese accent. I think he was speaking Chinese most of the night. But, and then he had this stuff oozing out of his head. But, you know, just a normal guy like anybody else.
You're telling me he's a normal guy?
Hey, he looks like everybody else to me.
Thanks a lot for your help. That might clear things up a little bit for us. How you doing? You ever seen this guy before?
No.
You sure?
No.
Take a good look at him.
No, I've never seen him.
Okay.
No, I've never seen him.
All right, now if you have seen him, you would remember if you saw him?
I think so. I've never seen him.
Okay. You sure you haven't seen
No,
him?
I've never seen him.
Maybe this will change your mind, huh?
Oh, I've never seen him.
All right. How you doing? Good. You recognize this guy? No? You think you'd know him if you saw him?
Oh, yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
But you're sure you haven't seen him?
No, I haven't seen him.
You're sure?
Sure.
Maybe this will bring back some memories. Huh? Huh? You remember him now? Huh?
Yeah.
Hey, tell me a little bit about him.
He's a good one.
All right, thanks a lot.
You have a nice
You have a safe day.
You too.
All right. Tonight on Easily Solved Mysteries, we found the bird. The bird that was the bird that pecked at our unsolved mystery individual. This is the bird. It did a lot of damage to his head. And from the looks of it, and the interview that we'll be conducting in a few minutes, you'll see why this bird did damage. A lot of damage. Let's go inside and see if we can talk to this bird. Alas, it was at the bird store where we finally confiscated our Chinese-speaking Mexican with a sombrero and a parrot over his shoulder. From the look of the ooze coming out of his upper lobe, we had our man. First of all, I want to tell you have the right to remain English. Anything you say in Chinese may and will be used against you in a Mexican courtroom. First of all, why didn't you show up for work like you told Millie you would? Oh! You didn't find it necessary to call Millie down at the diner to let her know that you wouldn't be showing for your first day at work, did you? Ooze. Parrot? Limp. I want to ask your bird a few questions, AJ.
Absolutely.
How long has this bird been here?
He's lived here a long time, 10 years, I think.
Have you ever noticed that it had any type of violent tendencies, where it would have bit or attacked the American slapper?
It's always seemed normal to me, but you just never know about birds.
Does it make any noises?
Do you make noises?
Does it?
Yes, he does.
Can you tell me what it's saying?
He wants a cracker.
You just heard. You just heard from our parrot. And apparently it wants a cracker. Well, that's it from here. At Pet Supplies Plus, we've learned that the American slapper ended up at this pet store. It was attacked by this parrot. Went to Murphy's Law. Had a drink, although we still haven't figured out where it got the poncho or why he walks with a limp. We're still trying to figure it out tonight on Easily Solved Mysteries.
The screen will have a flashing number and what we ask that you do so that we can get back on the air here at Madison Square Garden in New York. So again, look at the screen. If you see the number, dial it up and send some. In fact, hold on a second. Yes, apparently we will even come and pick you up. We'll drive you down if you're a crack technician. Again, thanks for joining us here, all of us at Madison Square Garden in New York. Politics, Rangers, and football giants. Now saying, hold on, we're working on those technical difficulties. Please stand by. Yes, please stand by. In fact, you may be seated now. Have a seat. I asked you to sit down. Now kneel and sit. Now stand and kneel. Yes, sit and stand. And open your book. Now sing.
Tonight we look at a problem that's sweeping the country. We're in New Haven, Connecticut, at Coffee 2, where we're looking at the American coffee addict. The American coffee epidemic is very evident as we look at this coffee trash can in New Haven, Connecticut. I'm Robert Hacht, and tonight we'll look at the American coffee addiction.
I'm kind of a caffeine addict, and I'm an artist, and I've been unemployed, but I make signs. And now I make signs just for coffee shops. I make signs for coffee shops because they give me free coffee, you know? And that's pretty much it. But so we're changing the name of this coffee shop. I'm down here with my assistant. We're putting up this sign, and gonna go in and have a couple cups of Joe afterwards. Well, you know, I've been coming around a long time, and you know, caffeine, coffee is just something it's like I need it, you know? It's something I do. It's what I do, it's coffee. So, you know, I managed to get food. You get stuff one way or another. You get by your friends and stuff. You know, get food, get what you need. But a good cup of coffee is not as easy to come by, you know. So I make signs. You know, it buys me a lot of coffee. So I'm never without need of coffee.
Coffee has become such a big part of the American landscape that these three men presented the owner with a check for $5,000 for being the first coffee drinker at the new place. This is the length that coffee has become. It was then that Curtis began to work on his sign, a craft that he picked up at a coffee shop years ago. Curtis, how long have you been working on coffee signs?
This will be my 6th year. I came into the coffee rooms about 7 years ago, and after hanging around for a little while, I got to know a few people in coffee shops, and so let's see, the first one I did was 6 years ago. 6 years, yep. 6 years will be September 20th, and this will be, I believe, my 32nd coffee shop.
How many coffee shops do you think you'd like to do in the future?
As long as the coffee shops keep open and changing names, I'll be there, man. You know, I got no place better to be. That's it for me. That's it for me.
As long as they bring in the coffee, because Curtis and I only drink coffee on 2 occasions. That's alone or with somebody.
Please elaborate.
Yeah.
I'll bet I average somewhere between 10 and 15 cups of coffee a day. I wake up at 4 in the morning, gotta have my coffee. Don't need cigarettes, just give me my coffee.
Do you ever find that you can't get to sleep?
No problem there, because I know when I wake up, I got another cup of coffee waiting for me.
Doesn't bother me.
How long have you been going to coffee meetings?
Again, as I mentioned, this will be my 7th year going to coffee meetings. Yep. And I go on a regular basis. I make 3 to 5 meetings a week without fail. You know, it's my bread and butter. It's what keeps me going.
Are you a coffee maker? Are you a coffee maker at a coffee meeting?
I am, yes. I have 2 coffee commitments at 2 different coffee situations, yeah. And I always do my best to make the best coffee I can, you know, because, hey, that's what I'm there for, you know.
What confuses me here is you would think if you're having a problem with coffee that you might not make coffee at the coffee meeting.
Well, I don't really consider it a problem anymore, you know what I'm saying? I'm past that point. It was a problem, but, you know, I've reached that point where I have a great immunity to it, you know? I mean, look at me now. I'm not hyped out.
What time is it now?
Oh, Jesus, I don't know, 9 o'clock?
In the evening?
9 in the night, 9 p.m., yes.
And you're still drinking coffee?
Absolutely, yes. I imagine I'll have 2 to 3 cups more before I retire.
What time do you put the coffee cup down?
Oh, I often fall asleep with one next to the bed, you know? Wake up with one next to the bed, too. Cold coffee, I don't care.
How many cups of coffee would you say you've had so far today?
Oh, I'm well over 15 and still running. And like he said, I probably will end up...
Excuse me, 15 cups of coffee?
Easy. I like the large ones. This is unusual for me to be drinking a small one. And now with the small one, that means I'm going to end up with 2 of these before I leave here tonight. And then I'll take one home with me because, like Curtis said, I like to have one by the bed, and I enjoy it until I go to sleep. And then when I wake up in the morning,
Absolutely.
It's the best.
There's nothing wrong with cold coffee. As long as the cream didn't curdle, it's all right with me.
I can't disagree with you.
Right?
It's like a...
I got to get back to work. People are going to get upset with me.
Yes, and if we don't get back to work...
Yeah, what is going on here, by the way?
No free coffees if we don't get done.
It's true. Can you...
Yeah.
In a recent interview we conducted with Dr. John L. Stern at Columbia University, we asked the doctor, is this man exhibiting alcoholic or caffeine tendencies? Clearly, the good doctor told us, well, let's hear what he had to say.
Yeah, well, yes, of course. What this man here is clearly exhibiting is a caffeine-frenzied interrogation. When I say a caffeine-frenzied interrogation, he's interrogating the sign man in a supposed hallucinogenic state brought on by hours of caffeine injectedness. Can I say injectedness? Quite.
This was the bird, the one that was sitting on his shoulder. It was big enough to knock a house down, to take a small automobile and flip it. This was the bird that he spoke of. Tonight on Easily Solved Mysteries, we'll look more into the bird, although more into the bird is not easily...
Go ahead.
Hold on, you ready? Hold on, let me get my sunglasses back.
Good.
Tonight on Easily Solved Mysteries, we're looking for a guy that nobody seems to know. Nobody's seen him, and we're looking for him. How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good. Ever seen this guy before?
No, I haven't.
You sure?
I think I remember his face.
Where's that money? You tell him you haven't seen him. Maybe this will change a few memories. Huh?
$3? I haven't seen him.